Welcome to Proof Points, a podcast by Latham High-Tech Seeds. Family owned and farm proven for more than 75 years, Latham Seeds is growing strong. Now, here's product manager and host of Proof Points, Steve Sick.
Welcome to this week's episode of Proof Points. We're here today with John Latham, president of Latham Hybrids. How are you today, John?
I'm doing well, Steve. Thank
Good.
you.
You know, John, March is known for the start of the college basketball tournament, and I'm sure you're really looking forward to this year's tournament, given how Iowa State's performing this year.
Yeah, it's been a fun year for the Cyclones. We're rated number 6 and hope we can keep it going through the tournament, both the Big 12 tournament and the NCAA tournament.
I agree. It'd be good to see a hometown team perform this year. You know, one of the events that I really look forward to the most as far as the basketball tournament goes is Selection Sunday. You know, it really looks like Latham soybeans will be getting a number 1 seed in the Midwest region this year. Can you take us through your starting 5 soybean varieties for this year?
Yeah, and it's tough to limit it to just 5. So there's so many good varieties out there in different maturities, but these are a few we just wanted to highlight as our starting 5 for today. Certainly, to start off on the early side is a group 02 maturity is our 0254 Extend Flex. And we're seeing a lot of momentum on Extend Flex up north. That's continuing this year. That 0254 is one of the tallest group zeros on the market. Great IDC tolerance and branching with excellent southern movement. It keeps that first pod nice and high off the ground for those less ideal soil types, which we see a lot up north. So this is definitely a starter and a superstar for us up north.
Yeah, I mean, in all my career in soybeans, it's difficult to find a taller early group zero, and we've really found it in 0254 Extend Flex. It is one of the tallest varieties out there, like you stated earlier. How about as we move into the late group zeros, John?
Yeah, we've got an 08 Extend Flex, 0888. Really excited about it. It's got an attractive plant with good lateral branching and makes for broad adaptation, which we're looking for in our soybeans for sure. Consistent and medium plant that will stand all season long. Obviously, you want it to stand, and that's really a key for us as well. So really like the 0888 Extend Flex.
Yeah, one of the things to me that you just said there, John, is consistency. Whether it's in high moisture situations, low moisture, it stays very, very consistent. And I think that's a key, to a soybean variety's performance as well. You really like to see that consistent performance across all environments, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's critical because you just never know what Mother Nature is going to throw at us. The different soil types that we work with, and you just got to have some consistency across those. So it's definitely something we're looking at.
So you're saying not all ground is 250 plus bushel plus corn and 100 bushel soybeans?
Yeah, it doesn't work that way, does it? I mean, we've got some awesome ground in Latham country, but then obviously there's some tougher soils and our customers are trying to maximize yield in even those tougher conditions. So you got to have soybeans that can handle both.
Right. How about as we move into the group ones, John?
Yeah, we've got a great brand new this year 1881 E3. This is a Peking source SCN variety that has recently been given the ironclad designation. So it didn't start the year, but now it's really proven itself as an ironclad, which means it's at that highest disease resistance. It's got a medium, tall plant, excellent branching, and will not disappoint in harvest time. It did extremely well in the Latham research, and this is going to be a superstar for us, no doubt.
I agree. One thing, that's our first Peking variety we've talked about. How can growers tell a Latham variety is Peking source SCN?
Yeah, that number on the number 1 on the end, it really differentiates it as a Peking variety. So it's something that we want to, we're not going to have our whole lineup as Peking, but certainly it's really a key tool, especially with the pressure we've seen. This last year, you did a great podcast with Dr. Greg Tilka talking about what he saw for SCN this last year and how to incorporate Peking into the mix. Certainly can't do it every year, but it's certainly something to reduce your population of SCN, your egg count, reducing that. And so it's a really important tool in fighting against SCN.
And for those that have access to the Iowa State assist results that Dr. Toka has published for years now, one of the things you'll notice is these products like 1881, another product we'll talk about here in a minute, and 2551 have really come to the top and have really done a great job of reducing cyst numbers, from start to finish throughout the year. And I think that's really key in rotation.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to put Peking into the mix. And the great thing is, I mean, we've been working with Peking for 20 years now, and for a lot of years we just couldn't get it to yield. But now we're seeing these Peking varieties yielding as good or better than other resistances, and so it's really important to put it into the mix. Mm-hmm. Not every year, but certainly to reduce your egg count.
Right. Yep. It's a good rotation. How about as we move into the early group twos?
Yeah, we've got another superstar here, 2031 E3. This is a Peking source SCN variety. Won't disappoint growers all season long. It really flies out of the ground, and it'll stand all season long until the cows come home. Don't overlook 2031's ability to move north as well, and even south of zone. It's very adaptable, and this is a great new Peking variety that handles a lot of different soil types as well.
You know, and what John just mentioned there about moving north and south of zone, and that's one thing I'd really like to stress to listeners is same thing on corn as well as soybeans. Push your maturity as far as you feel comfortable with. You're going to take advantage of that growing season. You're going to get better yields out of pushing those fuller season products, you know, north of zone, especially with the way it looks like we might get in the field a little bit early this year, John.
Right. Yeah. We had people wanting to go in February, and it's tough when the weather's so nice, but we could use a little more moisture and a little more time.
Yeah. Yep. And then last but not least, one of the products we'll talk about here, John, can you tell us more about this Just Dynamite variety we've got coming?
Yeah, this product just blew the doors off this last year, our 2551 E3. And what more can we say about this product? It's just a yield hog. It's newly crowned ironclad variety with Peking SCN source. I would just say if you're in Iowa, even into southern Minnesota, if you're looking for a later product, this won't, even in South Dakota, in a lot of areas, this won't disappoint you. I really encourage you to try 2551. It's a new superstar.
Yeah, I mean, the bushiness and that is definitely something you can reduce your plant population on a little bit, save a little bit of money that way. But 2551 is just absolutely a beast out there. It's the 5815 of the soybean world, in my opinion, John.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be, I think it's going to be in the lineup for a long time and be a real superstar.
So before we talk about your freshman class that you've got coming up, one thing that is really a big topic right now, John, is XtendFlex versus E3 and what's going on in the Xtend world. Can you maybe shed a little bit of light to the listeners on kind of what we're seeing and what we're hearing about Xtend approval and that for 2024 and 5?
Yeah, we got a little bit of uncertainty with XtendFlex. Things are okay for yet this spring, but we're not quite sure what's going to happen this next year. But you probably heard about the Arizona federal court that vacated the registration for XtendFlex as far as the chemical side of things, and then the EPA allowed people to have an ending stock, so you can still work through it this spring, but yet we're still unsure about this next year. So stay tuned. I mean, we can certainly still plant the beans, but it's just a matter of can we spray it with dicamba? Can we use it as a pre, as a post? We're not sure yet. So stay tuned. We still have a lot of confidence in the XtendFlex program altogether. A lot of great genetics, but just a little bit uncertainty about the spraying side of things.
So I agree. I mean, base it off genetics, make your planting decisions off of genetics, because both E3 and XtendFlex have two common chemicals in common.
Right.
So with glufosinate and glyphosate, so that's a key. You always got a rescue there that you can go with.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, as I mentioned earlier, it appears you've got a very good, strong freshman class coming in 2025. Can you introduce us to a few of those players, John?
You bet. We got some great products, and hats off to you, Steve, and the whole team for putting this deep bench together. But really excited this next year. We got here just a couple of them. The 0427 E3 is a chloride excluder with superior IDC tolerance. So that's a great new 04 variety. We've got the 1236 E3 brings excellent IDC. You're seeing a theme here that IDC is really important to us, and dual purpose phytophthora root rot genes. So that's a great one. 2391 E3 is a new Peking SCN variety with superior SDS tolerance. So take a look at that 2391 and that 2.3 maturity. And then a couple group threes, 3061 E3 brings Peking SCN and top end yields. That's going to be a great 3.0 maturity. And then at 3.6 is one of our latest varieties, but 3635 E3 will lead Latham's charge in the mid group 3 portfolio, and that's an excellent new product if you're looking for something on the later side.
So in the past, we've kind of ended about that 3.3, 3.4 maturity range. So we're kind of building a little bit fuller season portfolio, aren't we, John?
Yeah, for those folks in central Iowa, even in Nebraska, they're looking for a later product in their mix. Maybe they'll start in the late group 2s and end in the middle group 3s. But boy, this 3635, the genetics were just too strong for us not to bring that into lineup.
Right. And then just one product I would add as far as being, basically the 6th Man of the Year award will be 3411. It's a new E3 variety, going to be 3-4. It's our latest Peking offering, which we're really proud to offer something, in that mid group 3 category to Peking. Great defense as well. So, kind of keep that in mind as we move into those group 3 needs. So one thing, as you kind of mentioned earlier about the recruiting process and that, kind of take us through the steps as to what we look for, how do we take into the needs assessment, things along that line as far as building our classes for the upcoming years.
Yeah, it's really a team effort. We've got a great product team that looks at all these products all year long, but then we get a lot of feedback, not only from our customers, our dealers, our RSMs and DSMs. And so we take all that feedback and then we do a lot of surveys with our RSMs and they have a key role in what's really our customers are looking for. And you'll see IDC tolerance was really critical. Peking varieties was really critical. That ironclad and SDS tolerance, and especially on the later products, are all really critical. So really excited that we've heard our customers and we're implementing that into our new lineup.
Mm-hmm. So one thing we did different this year, we added basically mini strips to all of our R&D trials. So there'll be 4 rows, 30 to 40 foot long, that we'll be able to do training at this year. So people will be able to come out and see all these new products compared to the current portfolio. So it's going to be a great opportunity to catch that first glimpse of these new varieties, hear about it right from the horse's mouth, which would be me, and just to build that confidence in that class going forward.
Yeah, it's a great time. I really enjoy in the summer learning about these products, seeing them in the field, and then the customers can take that knowledge right to the sales and helping sell those products because they know exactly how they perform.
And then, of course, too, the one thing that we didn't talk about was obviously all these varieties. Everybody, pretty much most of them, will have an opportunity to see them here at Alexander in the Agronomy Center, correct?
Right. Yeah, you bet. It'll be a great opportunity to see them here, and another. We're also see some of the new technologies that we're working on in the future. So yeah, a lot of different things we're working on here at Alexander.
No, that's good to hear. A lot of new and exciting things coming on the soybean world, John. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to this week's episode of Proof Points. And until next week, have a good week.